So I was thinking about therapy and how over the past 2.5 years, I wasn't able to really see a therapist. And that had been so conditioned that um, it would be helpful to see a therapist um, undergoing a crisis or immense healing process or whatever you want to call it, dark night of the soul. And it would seem that the therapy wouldn't really work. That therapy just, like, the whole process of therapy is just so foreign to what is experienced and what seemingly unfolds throughout this process, if you want to call it. That I don't think it would help. I mean, yeah, because there's nothing wrong with trying it, but the way a therapist works is very much, within the framework of how humanity has been conditioned. With these certain beliefs, certain behaviors that you have to uphold, and it's so foreign to what this is that it doesn't make. Yeah, I don't think a therapist could meet you, there where when going through this. I think only someone that has gone through something like this could properly hold space, allow for silences, for example, which happens a lot now. There's no need to fill in every moment with talking. It's seen as unnecessary. It's yeah, and it's so crazy how some people believe that you have to fill every moment with silence and you have to, I don't know, talk at like while having dinner or something like that. It's so ingrained. When I experienced what could be called a sudden shift, and I started to do better after expressing all of my trauma for like several hours straight, nonstop, to my dad. I decided to like cut my medication by a huge portion, like almost all of it. And in order to do that safely, because still it was a tapering process, I had to see a psychiatrist that could like guide me. Or I didn't really have to, but that was just suggested, and I was like, whatever, that's I don't have a problem with that. So it was just really strange when I had that session, because it was like very like, oh, you have to be a person in this society, like this, in this very molded way, like what are your goals going to be? You have to start thinking about that. And I was like taken aback at first. I kind of was like, wait, what? That doesn't really seem natural. But then I was like, just seeing that that's how people operate, and it was just strange. And having to respond to that too was like making the body also feel like it had to I don't know, like have an answer for that. But what came out was just like natural. It was just it was just like a natural response, and there was nothing. It was just different than from a regular session would have been like, where I would have been thinking about goals, and it was more like the body is processing, and like I can't really think about goals type of thing. And yeah, I mean, when you're doing therapy, it's like you have to follow this certain process and do these different techniques, and keep seeing a therapist continuously at a certain day every week, and it just seems very different than how the body operates now. Like when things are expressed, they're expressed freely, they're expressed spontaneously, like there's no planning for things coming up, like emotional wounds, to be expressed when they are. It just happens on its own. And I remember at the very beginning when things started to go, like my life started to turn upside down, I was able to see someone who was able to hold space because she had been through this process, and I did find it helpful because for the first time, I think someone, it's like they held space for me by like reaffirming that no matter what, like I'm always safe, all these thoughts that it is too much seem to be not true. Thoughts are just thoughts, they're not you, so it would seem to be that whatever occurred, it didn't really matter. As bad as it got, there was just more and more letting go, and even though there could still be a fear that, oh, what if things get worse, or it'll be too much, it never was. And more beliefs were just let go of, but by no one. It just happened on its own. And with it, also the way that society had conditioned the body. Like, it seems to create an armor on the body, like making one rigid to perform in a certain way. And this it just falls away on its own. Like there seemed to be less and less care for what the body was doing, or if it was appropriate or not. That all went out the window. The body just did what it had to do. Like screamed, yelled. Whatever the body is doing is fine. It can act in strange ways, it's strange. I mean, it's just a label. The body will be how it is. through condition that you have to look and appear a certain way and behave a certain way. But that's not true. And that certain behaviors are wrong. Certain, I don't know, even like what you call supernatural things, like they seem to be the same as ordinary, as the ordinary. They're not too.